What do you do when the scale goes up when you're on Wegovy? Because that happened to me. And let me tell you, it hit me harder than I thought it would. These past few weeks have honestly been tough, okay? I've only been on Wegovy for just over 5 weeks. And let me tell you, the first week, easy breezy. Weeks 2 through 5, not so much. I went from this big first week, great momentum, to feeling like Wegovy just stopped working. And I even ended up in the ER. Health anxiety. That's me. So this video is going to cover weeks 2 through 5. I'm getting it all out there, back on track, and I'm going to let you know the ups, the setbacks, and all the things that I've learned along the way. Because as I'm realizing even more and more, this is definitely not the easy way out. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Gains and Losses, where we're all about fitness, family, progress. If you're new here, I'm Christine, and I am documenting my real life experience with Wegovy and beginner fitness, alongside with my son, Donovan. I'm combining weeks 2 through 5 into one update because honestly, I am new to this, so I'm still finding my groove with filming and editing, and it's a work in progress. I would like to get myself back on track so that my updates correlate better with what's going on week to week instead of being so far behind. If you haven't seen my week 1 video, please go check it out after you finish this one and you can see where it all started. Week 1 went amazing. I lost 6.9 pounds and I felt fantastic. I thought, this is easy. I have this whole thing figured out. But then, of course, reality sunk in. I did not have it figured out. Believe me. Week 2 was, okay, this is going to be harder than I thought. I only lost 0.1 pounds that week, basically nothing. And I knew where I went wrong. I wasn't drinking enough water. I wasn't eating very well. I wasn't moving enough. It all adds up. There was even some homemade pizza. It was delicious, but not the best of choices when you're trying to lose weight. The main side effect that I started to notice during week 2 was some mild constipation, which you would think at that point, I would think, okay, I should really pay more attention to my hydration because this could become a bigger issue if I don't get on top of it now. But I did not do that, as you're going to find out. Week 3, that felt like a comeback. I ate better. I drank more water. I made a conscious decision to drink more water. And I even got to the gym a few times with Donovan, which made me feel super proud. Like I got it this week. I'm hitting all the things that I need to hit. The constipation was still there, but not as bad. And I dropped 3.3 pounds that week. Amazing. When you come off a 0.1 the week before, I was like really scared to get on the scale that week, but I was worried for nothing. 3.3 pounds. I was so happy. It was super encouraging. It reminded me that progress doesn't have to be perfect. Little things will add up. Then came the dreaded week 4. Yes, the dreaded week 4. I gained 1.6 pounds. When I saw that number, my heart honestly dropped, just fell right out of me. That little voice in my head came roaring back. Of course, only you would gain weight while on Wegovy. How did this happen? For a minute, I believed it. I believed that voice in my head. Like, what are you doing here? How did you gain 1.6 pounds? Why did the scale go up and not down? Like, sure, I've had bad week, but it still went down. How did it go up? But then I looked at the week as a whole, and it made complete sense. Major, and I mean major constipation, barely moving, and just feeling awful. It wasn't fat gain. It was my body holding on to literally everything. That week was so uncomfortable, both physically and mentally. I tried to push through, but my anxiety, I tell you, was through the roof. Through it, all the way through. By week 5, I really couldn't pretend that it was going to fix itself anymore. I started really getting worried that I could have a partial impaction. And with my health anxiety, if you remember me talking about it in the week 1 update, was getting out of control. I was very, very anxious about what was going on. So I headed to the ER. And the reason I went was because, number one, my anxiety will not stop until I get checked out. And nothing was moving. I felt so full and so uncomfortable. And that's not something that you mess with. I had spent most of that week trying every trick in the book that I could think of to try to get things moving naturally again, but it wasn't working. And to be honest, I spent 8 hours at the ER and they really didn't do anything to help me. Of course, that, it happens sometimes. They were busy. They didn't think it was much of an emergency, I guess. It was more of an emergency in my own mind. But so home I went. And then the next day, or later that day, I should say, because I was there all night, my primary care physician called me to see what was going on because he had gotten a report that I had been at the ER. He was wonderful. He gave me a very clear plan on how to get things moving again and to prevent this from happening in the future. But there's work that I need to do and do much better than I had been to also help it to not happen again in the future. That plan and the relief that followed honestly felt life changing. I started feeling human again. Yay! And the scale reflected that too. I was down 3.5 pounds that week. Most people think that Wegovy is the easy way out, that it's a miracle drug, that people are lazy if they take Wegovy. And I used to be one of those people. Or maybe I thought I just didn't want people to think that of me. You know what I mean? I didn't necessarily feel like it was the easy way out. Maybe a little bit. But I think I was more worried about judgment from other people. But let me tell you, it is certainly not the easy way out. It is still hard. It really helps you. It helps with the food noise, the quietness, not constantly thinking about food all the time, and helping you not overeat because you feel full quicker and for longer. But you still have to put in a lot of work. You still have to build new habits, and you still have to recognize and try to overcome your emotional triggers. You have to focus on protein, lean protein, and fiber, and moving your body even when you don't feel like it. I mean, those are still all the things that people do when they're not on Wegovy. Some people just need that little bit of extra help because they've tried everything and nothing is working. When I zoomed out and I looked at the big picture, I realized I am still down 12.2 pounds in 5 weeks. And I don't remember the last time that I lost that much weight. Maybe like years ago when I was starving myself, but that's not healthy and that's not what I want to do. I've noticed that I'm sleeping better. I'm making healthier choices in my food and drinking more water, even though that is still a struggle for me. It's not that I don't like water. I do like water. I've always struggled with drinking a lot of fluid in one day. I could have one drink and sip on it for hours. And I could make a coffee in the morning. It goes cold, I heat it up, drink a little bit, goes cold, I heat it up, drink a little bit. And next thing you know, 3 hours or 4 hours have gone by and I've only drank half a coffee. Or I'll fill up my water bottle and take 4 sips. 10 hours later, it's still full. So it's something that I really consciously have to remind myself, drink your water, drink your water. So that water bottle goes everywhere that I go and it's right in front of me. It's right there just off camera, reminding me you have to drink this or you're going to be back where you were the last couple weeks. And believe me, we don't want that. I don't want that for you. So if you take anything away from this at all, it's drink lots of fluid. It doesn't necessarily have to all be water. You could, you get hydration from fruits, soups, your coffee, herbal teas, all sorts of things. But please make sure you drink enough hydration because constipation is no joke. Believe me. I know that's probably TMI, but it has to be talked about, especially when you're on Wegovy, because when I talked to the pharmacist after I talked to my doctor and he gave me a plan on what to take to help get things moving, I had talked to the pharmacist and they said that they know of people that had impactions. So it is a really real risk when you're taking Wegovy. So you have to really be mindful of your hydration and making sure you get enough fiber. And because Wegovy will slows down your digestion. So things are moving slower. Things are like, so you got to do everything that you can to help it move through and go away. It's just something that you have to do. I'm already partially into week 6, and my plan for week 6 was I had 2 main goals that I wanted to achieve, which was drink 2 40-ounce water bottles every day and hit 5K steps every day. I know they always say 10K steps, 10K steps, but you have to be realistic. I know for myself that it would be very unrealistic for me to go from 2 to 3K steps per day. I have a desk job, so I don't get up and walk as much as I should during the day. But to go from that to 10K every single day right off the hop is unrealistic. I'm setting myself up for failure, and we do not do that here. We don't set ourselves up for failure here. We set ourselves up for success. So I'm going to start off slower. I'm going to say 5K steps. And then once I can consistently hit 5K steps, then I'll go up and eventually work my way up to that 10K or more. But to start, no, we're not doing that. Not setting ourselves up for failure. So for me personally, these 2 challenges are realistic, but they're still going to be challenging. If you would like to join me, please drop a heart in the comments and we can keep each other accountable. I know I need someone to keep me accountable. Well, I have Donovan, but he will definitely keep me accountable. But like I was saying, those were my goals for week 6. It's already a couple days in, and unfortunately, I have not met those goals yet. But the week is not over. If I can do the rest of the week, then I will be happy with my progress. So for the rest of week 6, 2 bottles of water, 5K steps. And I will report on how I did in my next video. It'll only be about 5 of the days, but 5 days is better than none of the days, right? Am I right? So remember, if you have a bad week, please, please, please don't give up. One bad week does not mean failure. I promise you, you're still moving forward, even if the scale doesn't show it. Remember, this is not the easy way out, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next update. Donovan's watching me and I feel awkward. Click over here to see how it all started. And I'm out.